crowd. Cast of thousands here today. Del Fair Lanes in the Delhi Shopping Center. And Tony starts our second match off with a 2-4-5-8. Not the optimum way to start the match.
David, you had said that when we were watching some of the players in warm-up that you really were impressed with Tony. It looked like he really had his line.
He did early, Tommy, and since he's never been in this position before, again, there you see it, the 2-4-5-8 fills up the whole screen. It never looks that big to me. It looks a lot smaller than that.
I don't know though. The space between that, the 2 and the 5. Help me out, would you?
That's easy for you to
Help
say.
me out.
But Tony, there you see him, Tony. I tell you what, in a lot of cases, though, you start the match with a bad shot, and then you come back and make a fairly difficult spare to start. Is just as good as starting with a strike.
Well, we saw Derrick in the last game. Remember, he started off so well, and then he missed on a couple of balls. But after he picked up that important spare, I believe it was back in the 6th or 7th frame, boy, he just put together 4 consecutive strikes to finish out the match in an impressive 230.
That's exactly right. He did really get it together from that point on. He left a easier spare this time with the 2-pin, and that's caused by going light.
There's that 2-pin. That's what I was going to tell you is that the area between the 2 and 5, the chop area, always seems pretty big to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I've found it playing, for those of you that leave the 2-4-5 or a combination thereof at home, the easiest way that I've found to make it is to move to the exact center of the lane and position your feet so your arm swing can go straight and take the ball right at the spare itself. Derrick hooks on the left lane after going a little light on the right lane. Goes right straight through the nose for a 10-pin. That was a break.
Overcompensating, one of my favorite moves lately, it seems.
Derrick is in Forest Park, Ohio, and he is in a family-owned business. Hooks Cleaning Services. Boy, would he like to have that one back.
You know, I was about to say as he got up on the approach, Tommy, that he's going too quickly. Now watch it here. The mental lapse. The ball's going to hook right here, and you should be flattening the ball out to shoot this spare, not throwing your normal shot. And Derrick did flatten it out a little bit, but he didn't take his time. He didn't take his time at all, but his competitor did not jump on it and take advantage of it either.
No, he did not.
Tony is 20 years old, so we've got our 20-year-old, and Derrick is 22 years old. A couple of rookies. I love it.
And they're both rookies on the telecast.
Like rookies, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He does maintenance work for Stagnant Foods. And he's from a bowling family. I know this family fairly well. They all bowl. They're a terrific family. I'd like to say hi to his sister Debbie, especially. Hi, Deb. How you doing? She's here cheering him on.
Jennifer, tell me, Tony to me is a newcomer to the show, of course, but you know, I bowl a lot of tournaments around town, and I've never really noticed him. Now, why is that?
Probably because he's only 20. He did bowl in the BPA Travel League for 4 years. So I remember him from subbing in the Memorial Classic League, Erwin Hoyt Memorial Classic.
Well, he's got a nice game, like I told you on the opening.
And so does his brother.
A very simple release, and he doesn't really cover a lot of boards, Tommy, and that's why a player like Tony can go unnoticed for a while, even though he's very good. It's tough to not notice Derrick.
Yeah, very, very difficult. You know, I was down in the lanes, and maybe some of you folks at home heard right there in his release. You hear that pop right as he lets go of the ball, a lot more so than many of the other players.
Well, the amount of power that's behind his release, that's the thumb coming out of the thumb hole is what you hear, and there's an air pocket. Let's listen. There you go.
Yeah, you can hear it.
There's an air pocket in the thumb hole itself, and when the thumb is pulled out with so much force, it causes the pop.
Much like your finger out of a pop bottle. Oh, here we go.
And it's important for the thumb to come out cleanly to get the power. As Dave said, yes, he does put the thumb in the ball. Yes, he does, but it comes out very cleanly.
Mr. DiSanto answers right back. You see that clenched fist? He says, boys, I want to win one.
Let's watch the replay on this, Tommy. If he gets this strike, well, we'll watch a replay next time. If he got that strike, he knew in his own mind he could maintain his 11-pin lead. So what's he do? He steps up there and just throws a crusher, Tommy. I got a lot of respect for this guy.
He's been impressive. He and Derrick Hooks both. Again, first time on the telecast.
That was a great shot. He's really applying the pressure.
Absolutely
Really applying the
fantastic
pressure
again.
on Derrick.
And we are going to be back and join this exciting match. Tony, 11 pins lead. When we come back, it's not going to go away. Stay tuned.
Last week at Super Bowl, Riga Kalfa shot a .299 to defeat Alan Runkle and remains our current king. Lee's famous recipe salutes Riga Kalfas, this week's king, for the 4th week in a row.
Want to go bowling?
I'd be delighted.
Come on, get with it. Let's share the fun. Grab the flavor, that's the number one. I know the way that it's just right. Make mine delight. Make mine delight. Make mine delight.
Hey, Mark, I see you got one of those rhino balls. Next thing you know, he's going to tell us it's got horns.
Unleash your game. Roll a rhino. The Rhino. From Brunswick, a urethane ball designed for professional and high-performance bowling.
Today's bowling tip is being brought to you by West Hills Ford.
Every group of people that share a special interest develop their own vocabulary so that any outsider can easily be recognized. Bowlers are no exception, so here are a few key words and definitions. 10 in the pit describes a strike that all 10 pins go back into the pit. Rip the rack describes a very powerful strike with side movement. Ring 10 is a 10-pin left on a great hit. A scout is normally the head pin thrown into the wall and then ricocheting across into another pin. And every pin doing its job is the favorite phrase of an unnamed bowling announcer to describe action that happened so quickly he didn't see it at all. It's going, gone.
Today's bowling tip has been brought to you by West Hills Ford.
You know, out there, you've got to learn the signals, and you've got to watch the timing. And you definitely can't hesitate because delay can hurt. Staying in shape can make a big difference. Use it or you're going to lose it. Believe it or not, I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about arthritis. You might have it and not even know it. So look out for these warning signals. Early morning stiffness, swelling or redness in joints, lost range of motion in joints. If any of these symptoms stay with you, see your doctor. And that means now. The sooner you start treatments, the better they can work. And don't forget, the right kind of exercise can help arthritis, and your doctor is the best coach for that. Arthritis doesn't have to put you on the bench. Early detection, the right treatment, and exercise, they can make you a winner. The Arthritis Foundation knows how to score against arthritis. So why don't you give them a call?
Computer. Japanese. Law and government. Extended day.
Math and science.
Primary arts. Kate. Montessori. Padilla.
SCPA.
Gretchen. Todd's prep.
Cincinnati Public Schools. We've got a lot in school for you.
Welcome back. And the score sheet tells the tale. 11 pins. Is the difference? Derrick Hooks is on the right lane. Lanes 21 and 2 here at Delfair Lanes. And we have been privy to a few crushing strikes.
Well, you know, he seems to go back and forth. He'll put together 3 or 4 strikes in a row, and then all of a sudden he looks to miss his line 2 or 3 balls in a row.
Well, you live by the big hook, and sometimes you die by the big hook. The awesome turning action of Derrick Hooks' ball is also what causes some of the inconsistency. So 2, 4, 5 is left by going a little too wide. And in Derrick's case, that may be only a half a board or even hitting his proper board, but throwing the ball just a little harder, Tommy.
I think maybe, what do I know? But he's on a double. You know, I'll get really excited. All of a sudden, your adrenaline's flowing, and you just throw it a little harder, a little wider. You know, a little bit more confidence.
Well, that's a good point. Coming out of the break, too, again, I may be overemphasizing this, but I don't think so. Bowling is a game of timing, and if your timing is disrupted a little bit, you have to compensate for that. You have to compensate for that and come back with a good shot. Now, we've been talking about his release. Let's watch the release. This is the power. Look at that. That bowling ball looks like a ping pong ball in his hand. Watch this. Just rips the bottom out of the bottom of the ball. Maximum turn. Head pin's going to go to the wall. There you see it coming across. Kicks into the 2 pin, 2 into the 5, and then takes out the 7. I tell you what, that's both strikes. Both strikes are great strikes. But the one you remember is the pin movement. But right now, Tony has got a lead, and he's not going to let it go. The break didn't bother him at all.
He looks really calm, to use the overused phrase, really looks calm, cool, and collected for not only a 20-year-old, but also the fact that this is his first time, like Derrick's, on the show. And we've talked about in the past, that's not the easiest thing in the world.
It's good there. This guy's amazing. I tell you what, I picked him in the beginning. I told you I was impressed. This is it. Now let's watch it. No frills bowling, but boy, is he well schooled. Stays down at the line, gets through the ball. Now watch the 1-3 pocket filled up. No frills bowling, 10 pins in the pit. Every pin doing its job. Tony is in the lead, and Derrick is in big, big trouble.
Boy.
That definitely was big trouble. What's it look like score-wise here, Dave?
Sad.
Well,
not
if you're a Derrick Coates fan.
Now, but I tell you what, though, Derrick is in such a position right now that the only thing he can do is try to make this. No going for 3. Not to be today, but I tell you what, he's not out of the match yet. But the only thing he can do is strike from here to the rest, to the end of the sheet, and hope Tony falters. Derrick's looking at the sheet there. He's trying to figure out his situation. Now, we don't have to strain to look at the sheet. 129 for Tony in the 5th frame, 95. But then Darrell opens down the line. So his lead is about 46 pins.
Big task ahead of this young man. And he's, of course, not only got a few strikes like that right there, but as David mentioned, he's got to hope that Tony DiSanto more or less just falls on his face. And looking at the last couple of balls he's rolled, well, as a matter of fact, the last 3 in a row, that doesn't appear to be the case on this Sunday afternoon, at least.
Tony, I can't believe how relaxed he is. You know what I really can't believe is how well he's carrying. The 10's just snapping out at the latest minute. He's high, gets that 7 out. Look at that.
He's rolling the ball so cleanly right now, Jennifer. Again, not covering a lot of boards. Not this big action. Now let's contrast the releases. We saw the big hook, the big strapper before. Now look at this. Just absolute perfection at the bottom of the swing. Comes up underneath the ball. Beautiful roll. 1-3 pocket. That was the 9 pin, last pin that the ball touched as it traveled off the end of the lane. Impressive bowler, this guy. I like it. I like it.
Well, the way Tony's going here, we've got a Taurus to give away to him in the next match. He will go on to meet our king, Riga Kalfas, who last week shot a 299.
You see the man just to the right with the glasses. That's Riga Kalfas' father. We've talked about him in the last couple of shows. A real gentleman.
He is.
And I'll tell you, the way Tony DiSanto is going, we could be in for one whale of a final match.
Uh-oh. Is that a prediction?
No. I don't make that mistake. I've made it too many times on the news. I've quit.
Well, this party was over a couple of shots ago, but Derrick has, look at him shrugging his shoulders. I don't know. He did the best he could, and he still had an opportunity to shoot 200, but he's going to fall a little short. But Tony is just right on his way to averaging about 250 here coming out of the gate. That ain't all bad.
Not bad at all. Derrick had an impressive 230 last game, but 230, even if he were to have done it this game, as you mentioned, doesn't hold up to a 250.
That's right. It would be history. Actually, Tony will, in all probability, get hired in 250, but we cushion it and saying at least that. Derrick can finish out with a 190. Gives him a, let's see, quickly compute this, 210, yeah, 210 average for the show today, which isn't bad.
Not bad at all.
Just 17 pins below our average for the year.
We've got some good numbers this year. You know, it seems like a lot of good week in and week out.
Yeah, 227 is our average through 30 games. That's not bad.
Derrick, everybody's proud of you. Don't you see him there motioning like he was spinning the ball. He wasn't happy with his release towards the latter part of this game.
Derrick's a super guy. I'll tell you, you will not meet him and Mike Whalen. They look mean, but man, are they nice.
Well, he didn't need it, and that's probably why he didn't throw it. It's a letdown, Tommy.
But we've talked about in the past, though, Dave, a lot of times the fact that right now is, particularly if you're in Tony's situation where he's got the final match coming up against the King, you want to keep that momentum going. He had thrown 6 consecutive strikes. You don't want to let that up.
No, you don't. And under ordinary circumstances, that would be a problem, but I don't think it's going to be the case this time.
We've got the big one coming up next. Tony DiSanto and our king, Riga Galpich, on the Hudy King of TV Bowling. Stay with us.